So I am in a playground, and it's a playground that I used to come to a lot when I was a kid, and it's changed a lot. They've upgraded, um, but some things are still the same, and I decided I would try to tell a story here. I thought maybe if I was telling it here that it might, I don't know, magic of playgrounds. And I say that, but when I was a kid, my parents used to tease me all the time because I would ask for a playground wherever I went. I loved them. And that included when I would go and visit my grandmother and uncle and cousin in Romania under when they were still in the Soviet Union. And basically, like, there's some people passing by, and I don't want to tell them, to be quiet or, anything. And it's like, what time? It's like 11:30 here. So, so under the Soviets, there was one really good thing, I think. It's that crime, well, certain kinds of crime didn't happen. So it was pretty safe for a kid to go play in a playground that wasn't too far from the apartment building that my grandmother lived in. And it reminds me, I'm gonna butcher this quote, but Eugene Ionescu said, or maybe it might have been Václav Havel that said, "Yeah, this place is very safe, safe as a morgue or a mortuary." Right? And that pretty sums up safety under socialism. So there was a playground there, and I was the same age as I was when I used to love to play here too. Talking like the 80s, and I used to go all the time. And there was always this group of friends that I would play with, and I bring them Wrigley's chewing gum and tons of stuff from the U.S. Chocolate. I can still remember all like the packs and packs of Wrigley's gum that we would put in the suitcases. I like the way they smell, So this one year I got there, and I'm really psyched to see all my friends, and when kids would grow up, right? Every year, if you hadn't seen somebody for half a year or a year or whatever, kids would grow, and you would basically I know I would recognize some of them because of like the way we played with each other. Some people had certain styles of moving or what they like to do and stuff like that. So I was really excited, and when I get there, the entire playground is covered in like bits of 2x4s and tons of slabs of wood, with nails in it. Like nothing safe, like for kids to play in glass, you name it. And the kids and like their parents are, mostly some moms, are like standing around the periphery of the playground, and they're just looking at the playground, like looking at all the crap that's there. And I say, come on, let's clean it up. Let's just get to it. Let's clean it up. And nobody moves. Nobody does anything. And I remember thinking to myself that I'd done something wrong. People were mad at me. They didn't want to play with me. And then one of the moms looks like me right in the eye, and she says, "Nu pot," which means we can't in Romanian. And this is like the story video stopped for some reason, but I'm just going to keep going now. Edit. So they're standing around, and one of the moms says, "Newport, I can't," or excuse me, "we can't." And I remember just this look on their faces, right? And I couldn't understand why it was that people couldn't do something that was right in front of them, do something to better their lives, like immediately. I was convinced still that I had done something wrong, or that they just didn't want to play with me. But as time went on, and I kept seeing that they were really, really scared. I left, but that stayed with me in a weird way. Like, I never really understood why it haunted me so much until recently. I mean, I've told this story before and written out, but I think the reason is, well, for one thing, I reminded my folks of it recently, and they told me that it was because they wouldn't have been allowed to, because it would have been considered an organized meeting or something, like an organized activity, which has a little bit of a weird thing right now. But also, I realized that that fear was not just about being afraid of getting in trouble. What I was seeing was this loss of initiative, but not because they were lazy or anything like that. It was because it had been basically taken from slowly, like chip by chip. And I loved visiting my family there, and I have really good memories. But that's something that scares me, and I'm telling it now because it really, really scares me right now that somehow in 6 months I managed to do something that took years. And sure, people could say that some stuff is showing initiative, but I just want to play with my friends, It sounds so cheesy, right? Anyway, so there it is. And I'm going to just throw this up and hope that somehow the magic of playgrounds does its work, and people start understanding something maybe that I don't even quite understand yet, and will decide to make the world look a little bit like it did back in January, or last year, in some ways, of course. So, and not wait for some leader to change it for us. Doesn't matter who, because that's spooky. So, with that,